Good morning, class. My name is Dr. Araipur, and I would like to welcome you to your virtual course. There were several emails sent to you, and I asked you to explore your course starting with the homepage of Canvas. The very first one, number one, there was a recording welcoming you to the course. I'm very happy to have you here. And I think I've made it easy by just following the numbers, number 2, 3, and 4. Number 2 is the class philosophy. Let's quickly look at that. So going back to the homepage, the next one would be the announcements. There have been announcements that you can find it right here. Were sent to you. The announcements were about welcome and orientation, recorded orientation. There's an old one and the new one will be posted, and welcome to your virtual course. These are the announcements that have been sent to you, asking you to basically explore the course. If by any chance other announcements are coming your way, if you miss any of them, you can go back to the announcement and check them out. They will be emailed to everybody. Going back to the homepage of the Canvas, number 4. So 1, 2, 3, and number 4. Now, before I go to number 4, on the left side here, right here where it says Zoom meeting, I want to make sure we understand. This is where we attend our Zoom meetings. In other words, click on this and then join, okay? Whereas the bottom of the homepage of Canvas gives you the office hours. So those two different things. And the office hours for this semester would be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7:40 a.m. to 9 a.m. So if there's any question, you're more than welcome to stop by. So we don't want to mix them up. So to attend the meeting, you just click on this. Number 4, we want to follow those steps: syllabus, modules, where we can print the practice test, watch the PowerPoint, solve the practice test, homework, quizzes, discussion for, then we go to discussion forum and exams. And so I want to start with the syllabus. You can click on the syllabus right here, or again on the left navigation bar, click on the syllabus. Makes no difference. A couple of things there. One of them is the Excel calendar, and that I want you to pay attention to it that the mandatory or introduction to MyOpenMath mandatory assignment is coming up. And then the next day is algebra review. We're going to start with that. And by the way, MyOpenMath is your digital platform. I'm going to refer to it as MOM for short. And then the first exam is coming up in a couple of weeks, when in like 3-4 weeks. When you get used to that, then the rest of them becomes nice and easy. But for now, we're just concerned with the first few weeks. And so that's the calendar. And the next one is at the very top is the actual syllabus. So I'm going to go over that for you. First, welcoming you to the course. Second, explaining about the section number, the time, and so forth, the Zoom meeting. And here's the topics I want to make a point of, and that is because there are many topics that we cover and the syllabus is becoming very large, you can go to a specific topic of interest to you. For example, the grading policy. I'm going to go over the whole thing fairly quickly. You can go back to it and check out a specific topic that you want to look at. So first, we have the material that we cover: course description, course goals, student learning outcomes. Very straightforward. The text, I will show you the text when we go to MyOpenMath, or you can just click on it here. It's a free text. It's mainly a reference text. The digital platform where we do our homework is called MyOpenMath, or MOM. And it's easy to register. Again, I'll show you that. This is our calendar. Okay, the first exam for now is the only one that we want to be concerned with. It's coming up in a few weeks, and the rest of them. Every exam is set up to be taken on Saturday. About a week in advance, you receive all the information, including the password. But the final is set up by the campus, and it has a specific date for a class that offers at this time. It's different than other exams. And there will be no proctorio. You will have a time of your own to pick, as long as it's done before its expiration time. And we will discuss that further as we come closer to the exam time. Calculators, you may not use a graphing calculator for the exam, but I am giving you a list of free online calculators because I believe everything should be free for the students. And so you can download them and use them. Tech support is here, Canvas support, Math Tutorial Center. The grading policy, okay, I will discuss that as it's easier here in this case. The online homework, 200 points. And as long as it's done before the due date, you can do it as many times as you. I keep the best score. Quizzes, 100 points. And you have, I believe, 2 or 3 attempts. There are 4 exams, each one is 100 points. The final exam is comprehensive, 300 points. Total of 1,000 points. A is 90% or above. That means 900 or more. 900 to 1,000 is A. 800 to 899 is B, so on and so forth. It's a very straightforward grading policy. Okay. Now, what I want to add here, again, as I mentioned, all the exams are set up so you can take them on Saturdays, except the comprehensive final set up by the campus, and it can't be changed, and it will not be changed. So you want to pay attention to that. Now, also, your lowest grade before the final may be replaced by the final exam. As long as the final is good, that means B 80% or higher. Homework grades are at 95% or higher. Please understand, you can redo the homework as many times as you want. So it's easy to, I mean, it's easy to get 100% actually. Quizzes, 90% or higher. Remember, you have I believe, 3 attempts. Um, and this action will result in a higher letter grade. So if we do all of it and the grade doesn't change from, let's say, C to B, from B to A, there's no need to do that. Okay. For example, if you have 850 points is a B, and we do all of that, and it changes to 870 points is still a B, it's not changing. So that's the grading policy. And then there's no makeup test because you really have a whole week when you receive the email. So, and I've set it up so you take them on Saturdays. That I'm hoping everybody's relaxed. So that's the due date, Saturday. But if something comes up, you can talk to me in advance, or if you have proper documentations accepted by the campus, you may have a makeup exam. Course late work policy. Generally speaking, there's a 10% penalty, and there's no late work for exam, as I mentioned. And those who use the late work, normally they get behind. It's very hard to catch up. CSULB 36, this is important to me. I want everybody to understand. Generally speaking, we need to spend um, 3 hours outside the class per unit. So therefore, we need 9 hours if we want to be successful, minimum of 9 hours of work outside the classroom, because this is a 3-unit course. And then other important stuff are here, like dropping policy and so forth. Take a look at them. If you have a question, you're more than welcome to ask me. I put everything that I believe has been important for students to know. I highly recommend you take a look at it and see which topic you want to spend more time on it. For example, the summary steps to success. You want to read your notes, study the corresponding sections, study the PowerPoints, creating formula sheet, doing the examples, homework, and quizzes. And as I said, office hours are set up. You can find them here. You can find them at the bottom of the homepage of Canvas. So that is the synopsis of the syllabus. I'm going to go back to the home page. Now, the next thing would be modules that pretty much has everything, okay? And I'm going to look at that in a moment. Before I do that, let me look at the discussion forum. It doesn't take long. You can click on it here, or you can click on a left navigation bar. So what we find here is the student bios. I have mine as an example, okay? So your fellow students get to know you if you like. Frequently asked question. Before you ask question, please read this. This doesn't take more than 3 to 5 minutes of your time, okay? For example, how to use a math editor here. Course ID, you don't need a course ID for my open math. How to access expired homework if you want to review the homework or any assignment. Where to find the exam password? This is a question that comes up, and I'm really surprised because the week of the exam, I go over the instruction and so forth, and the instruction is also sent to you, and the password and everything else. Basically, if you miss that, it is sent to you via email, and you can go to the announcement and find it. For example, for exam 1, under the title exam 1. For exam 2, the title is exam 2, and so forth. So that's the discussion forum. And I want to go back to the home page again. The things that are left are basically everything else under the modules. So what do you find under the modules? The top one says My Open Math. This is your digital platform. Access your online homework. No need for course ID to log on to MOOC. So what do? Right here, you click on this. Over here, you load it in a new window. Now, if you have an account, that means you have a username and password. They ask you to put it in. Fine. And you go to MOOC. But most of you don't have it. So just create one. You make up a username, password, confirm it, and so on. Then it takes you to my OpenMath. I will go there. I will show you how that works later on. But for now, going back to the modules, what do you find after that? Right here, class, underneath, these are recorded lectures and exam reviews. We have it from the past, and the new ones will be posted also. This is the latest one that we have. If you click on it, this is on my YouTube channel. So here's section 1.6, continues, 2.1, 2.2, so on. And look, when we finish 3.1, the first exam, which covers from 1.6 to 3.1, this is the exam review. And of course, we continue on. So we have all the lectures, and if by any chance you miss any of the lectures, just go watch the recordings just to be on the safe side. And of course, we have them for previous semesters. Going back to the modules. So the very top one is the information about my OpenMath and recorded lectures, exam reviews. What comes next? We have exam 1 module, exam 2 module. And I hope you see all of those modules are similar. So I'm going to cover exam 1 in a moment, exam 3 module, exam 4 module. Then we have the final exam review, the information about final exam review, you can find it here. And finally, graphing calculator, and so on. First, I want to look at this. Again, this is a resource for you. So if I click on it, everybody, it brings up this resource. And it has the TI calculator commands, also some online calculator resources that you can find for free. One of the things that could happen, and again, it doesn't work all the time, is to how to install free TI calculator. Okay. I could, do that, and it gave me this calculator. Okay, please understand, this may or may not work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. If it does, you can have it on your computer. There are other online calculators. There are many, many resources here. And also we have TI commands, okay? This is a resource for you. And again, going back to the module. So the bottom one is a resource, and the one before that is the final exam review. But aside from that, we have various modules. So the only one we're going to cover is exam 1 module, because when we are done with exam 1 module, exam 2 module is similar to that. So what do we find under exam 1 module? First, I put the exam review, and let me explain to you why I did that. I want you to take a few minutes to read this. These are the type of questions that we learn for the first module. And I have the questions and I have the keys. After, for example, this one says 1.6. After I'm done with section 1.6, you should have absolutely no problem handling the first few questions, which is about 1.6. And all you have to do 1 or 2 questions per day. That's all it takes, 1 question per day. The week of the exam, you have finished this and you're more than ready to tackle the exam. So this is the key. And I do have the solutions also. So the next one is the exam 1 PowerPoints, and the last one is the solution. First, I want to show you the last one. You have the solution step by step. And of course, we have the recording. We don't want to go over that unless we do the questions on our own first, okay? So we do have the questions. We do it on a daily basis. And the week of the exam, I will review that, and you make sure those questions are right, and those are truly helpful. Going back to the modules, everybody. What is the next one? So the first one is the exam review. The last one is the solution to that. What is in the middle. These are your lectures. Okay. I have them in the form of a PDF as well as PowerPoint. You can download it. Here's what I want you to pay attention to. Notice, you don't have to write anything. The definitions, formulas are given. So what do you have to do here? You don't even have to write the question. So what do you write? You write the solution that we go over in class. So please understand, you have to have this in order to save time, because I basically go over it and I don't have time to write all of this. You don't have to write anything except the solution to the examples that we covered. See, the examples are given, the solutions are missing. Okay, but you come up with a page that gives you the definition, it's all there. So I hope it's clear to everybody. So under the modules, we have my open math, we have the recorded lectures, and then we start with exam one module. We have the exam review, we have the solution to that, and more importantly, we have the PowerPoints. Going back to the home page, we basically have covered everything. Now the question is, what about my open math? What do we find there? So if you go to my open math after you register, at the very top, you see the very first assignment, and I'm going to go over that in a moment. It's called Introduction to My Open Math. It just shows you how my open math works. The next one is Algebra Review. This shows you how much knowledge you have as far as algebra. And bear in mind, as long as these assignments are done before the due date, you get full credit for it. You don't have to worry about it. Then exams and quizzes. The reason I put it, I put them right at top because I don't want anybody to miss that. But for now, of course, you don't have to worry about it, but you can find them underneath. Okay, for example, quiz one is coming up. Now, then we have the course description. We have the calendar. I want you to pay attention to calendar. Notice these two are in red because these assignments are coming up immediately. Then here's quiz one, quiz two, quiz three. Why do we have all the homework for the first module right before exam one? I have done it before that every couple of days there was something due and some students missed that. I don't want you to miss that, but please understand you have to do the moment I finish a section, you're ready to do the homework for that section. If you don't do it immediately, you will get behind. You won't have time to do this stuff right the day before the exam. So it has to be done on a daily basis. Now, what comes underneath? Module 0, module 1, 2, 3, 4. Modules 1, 2, 3, 4, those four modules are just similar to what we have in Canvas. In Canvas, we have the PowerPoints. Over here, we have the my open math. So what is module 0? As the name indicates, resources such as text, which is basically a reference text, how to use a late pass, calendar, my open math gradebook, free online calculators, and some videos as to how to use them. Now, this is very important. This is not being graded chapter review, pre-calculus review. So I have several sections for you. If somebody wants to check factoring, for example, or inverse functions or trigonometric functions, everything here. So as the name indicates, Module 0 is just for you as a resource. Okay? If you don't need any of those resources, you can ignore it. Your course starts with Module 1. So what do you find under Module 1? First of all, 1.6, here's the text portion where you can find some readings. Here's the videos. I highly recommend you watch the recordings, some of these recordings here. If you find them helpful, maybe in addition to our lecture, you watch those. If you don't need them, this is the only one you must do. This is the homework. So when you're done with that, then 2.2, some homework, and then homework here. Then 2.3, videos. I'm sorry, over here, I mean some videos and then homework. Same thing here. Okay. So this is your assignment. But what I want to show you is that how do you do the assignments? For example, right here, if I get started, the introductory assignment is to get you familiar with my open math. That's all. So for example, this one says, okay, put the number. Okay, so what is the number? 27.2889. The next one says, round it to the nearest hundreds. 27.2. The next number is 8, and 8 next to it is 8 goes up to 9. That's the method of rounding. Division by 0 can't happen. So it's undefined or DNE does not exist. And so I did those questions. Now, if I submit the question, I get a check mark and I get my point. Okay. So this is done. The next one, it says convert it to a decimal. Let's make it a wrong answer, 0.4, and submit question. And it's basically says it's wrong. So what do you do? This is what I mean by you can by the number of attempts. You can do it again and again and again. How do you do it? Get a similar question. It so happened to give you the same question, and it says enter 4 or more decimals. Remember, 0.3 bar is the answer. So bunch of decimals. If I submit the question, now I get a check mark, and it's the correct answer. Okay. Now something comes up. If I click done, what happens? It gives me the points that I've received so far, 15.4%, 2 out of 30. What about the rest of them? The rest of them are unattempted. What should I do? Well, if you exit, you can come back and resume anytime you want, as long as it's done before the due date. It will give you the credit that you receive. So far, we have done a portion of it, and we've received the credit for it. And that's it. So let me quickly recap everything for everybody. Here's the home page of Canvas. First, we had the welcoming message. Then we went over the philosophy. Then the announcements, as I've mentioned, you can always, if you miss the emails for any reason, you can go back to the announcements. The Zoom meeting is right here. It's different than the office hours at the bottom of the homepage of Canvas. Okay, 2 different timings. We don't want to mix them. We went over the syllabus. Under the modules, you can find how to register with my Open Math right here. Recorded lecture. And for now, we are concerned with exam 1 module, which has the exam review, PowerPoints, and detailed solution to those exam review, getting us ready for the exam. And when we go to my Open Math, we do the first introductory assignment, then the algebra review. Exams and quizzes are coming up. We don't have to worry about them yet. And then module 0 would be the resources. Module 1 is where everything starts. So I hope it's clear to everybody. I wish you all the best. And happy studying, everybody.